Ramble.
Thanks to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's episode of The TryPod. You guys have any... Hey, everybody, welcome to The TryPod. We're talking about ham.
Ham.
I've been eating a lot more ham lately. Now, I never used to be a big ham guy.
What kind of ham you eating? Honey glazed, smoked?
Well, I got some, just deli sliced ham.
Deli sliced.
Becky and I were making at-home Egg McMuffins this last weekend.
Ooh.
And actually, I was making them for Becky. She asked for them, and she wanted to go to McDonald's. I said, we could probably make...
We can make that at
12
home.
for the price of getting, because they're, you know how much an egg McMuffin costs nowadays?
Also, McDonald's by us is Liddy City.
Oh,
it's
crazy.
It is line out
Slammed.
the butt every day.
Well, McGriddle, get this. How much do you think, not a McGriddle, Egg McMuffin, how much do you think that thing costs?
$14.
Okay, that's a little high.
How much can
I'd say $7.
Do you think it should
No,
cost $7?
I think it should cost like $3.
It's $6. Wow. For just the sandwich.
Wow. That's before the protein add-on.
That's with the ham.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you mean just the sandwich? What?
No hash brown, no coffee.
Sure.
Just the sandwich. No, not a combo
sure.
meal being
So how much
$6.
that combo be?
The combo is I think $8.50 or
What a deal.
$9.50. It's so much money. And you know how much a hash brown by itself is?
No, don't even.
$3.
No.
They used to be 2 for $1. And maybe I'm showing my age. But they used to be 2 for $1. And then I was mad when it was 1 for $1. I can't believe, when did it become $3?
That's less scandal.
Potatoes are cheap.
That's like one of their main attributes.
Yeah, I know that inflation's happening.
Sure.
But potatoes grow in the worst dirt. They take no effort to grow potatoes.
Potato.
Yeah, they are one of the simplest foods. They cannot be charging $3 for dicing up a potato and frying it.
Did you ever leave a potato on your shelf?
It grows.
It tries to grow another potato.
It tries.
It tries.
He said, I'm not dead. You can't eat me anymore. I'm a poisonous plant now. Do you know they're poisonous when they're green?
Yeah, and they have little spuds.
And they don't actually kill you, but they will make you shit your whole body out.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, even if you cut out the green part?
Sometimes they do that.
No, okay. Yeah.
I mean, it'll give you a little bit of indigestion still.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the whole thing's green, don't eat it. And if most of it's green, don't eat it. When in doubt,
yeah,
poop it out.
Throw it out.
Throw it out. Oh, that's a good
Or
call.
you will poop it out.
Yeah. And what did we decide on the potato famine? That's when they had too many potatoes.
I think it was they only had potatoes. Yeah,
Right.
they only had potatoes.
Too many potatoes.
Too many potatoes.
Too
Which is
many potatoes.
Strange name for the great potato famine.
Hence my confusion back in the
You'd
day.
think that, we're out of potatoes.
Uh-oh, no more potatoes.
We used to love them.
No, they're gone. No, there's a potato famine.
And the skins, they're the best part for you. They're healthy. All
That's
the
true.
vitamins in a potato are in the skin.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them.
Uh-oh.
What are you going to say?
Something controversial.
About ham or potatoes?
Potatoes.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Because I love potatoes. And I think that their potential expression...
Yeah, they have a lot of potential.
Some of the greatest expressions of a food.
Mm-hmm.
But they can be bad.
Which ones do you think are bad?
The potatoes.
Which potatoes?
The potato ones.
The ones that are bad potatoes?
When you get like...
An undercooked potato?
Nah, just like a fucking baked potato or like a fucking, I don't know, like an oven roasted potato that's too big.
With nothing on it?
I think the potatoes, when they're too big and you're just like a starch sandwich and it's just like white as far as the mouth can chew.
Well, but if you do it right.
Well, they don't always.
They don't. Yeah, but you have to put like some kind of fat on it. Butter or margarine.
Well, fuck
and
that.
Then a good amount of salt.
Yeah.
See,
And pepper.
Are
That's
you
a different food.
buying a baked potato?
No.
Or like you're making it yourself, right?
I'm getting like oven. I'm talking about like oven. I said baked potato, which I also don't super love all the time. But I'm talking about oven baked, oven potatoes,
roasted.
oven roasted.
When they're like cut in bigger chunks on a sheet pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes those can be underwhelming, and that's typically they're just underseasoned.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or undercooked. Yeah. What's crazy about a potato? I don't think you can overcook a potato. I mean, you can burn them.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can overcook them. You know.
And Rainie learned the other day that you can't overboil what?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Right, okay, yeah.
But they will disintegrate. But then you have
Yeah.
Potato water.
They're
Potato water,
sturdy.
which is
oh,
good for you.
have you seen that cocktail from the New York Times? It's like pasta water.
Oh my God. I
sorry.
thought you were going to say
Pasta
it's a
water
potato.
martini?
This is also weird. A pasta water martini?
I know. I haven't tried it, but now I want to.
Is it an old recipe or a new one?
It's old.
Old. That sounds
Yeah.
right.
So to
Yeah.
be clear, this is you're cooking your pasta, and they often tell you to keep some of the pasta water.
Yeah.
For
It's
the
like a
sauce.
starchy
It's the
water.
thickener, yeah.
It's a thickener. And so this is saying you take some of that scalding hot, thick water,
Thick.
thick water, and you put some vermouth in it.
And some vodka or gin.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Or all three?
Or
No.
well,
They're too much.
typically vodka is gin, or I should say gin is vodka.
What?
Yeah, gin is vodka. It's the original
Oh.
flavored vodka. Did you know?
And the atoms in me are the
Juniper?
atoms in you, and we're all the same.
That's true.
Oh, that's
So when you
very
think about it,
true.
vodka's also milk.
Yeah. They're both made of the same thing. Water.
We're all made of stars, baby.
We're all Hey, you know what I learned? I learned something about milk the other day.
Tell me what?
We got 2% milk, right?
Yeah.
We got 1% milk.
Yeah. What's the other percent?
Whole milk. What do you think that percentage is?
I know it's not as much as we think. It's like 5.
Oh, 6%.
What is this face, Keith?
That's my game show shoulder questions. So you think 6? You thought 5 or 3?
Yeah.
Well, you're all wrong. It's 4.
Fuck.
Yeah. I all my life I've thought like, man, 100% or 2%.
Yeah.
What a big jump. If it's 100% fat or just 2% fat, that's a great, like, no wonder whole tastes so much better, but it's only 2% more fat.
Wow.
Okay, I got some questions about milk.
Sure.
1.
1.
What's the other percent? Is it just water?
It's mostly water,
Ugh,
apparently.
fuck that.
Everything's mostly water. So are we.
So are we? Okay, I'm back on board.
I'm more than 2% fat, though.
Question 2. If you were to drink straight from the cow's teat, is that the real whole milk?
I think it's probably even more fat.
But do we think that's 100%? Or
No, I mean, I think that there is no 100% fat, or else it would be like
Butter.
gelatin.
It
Yeah,
would come out as-
like thick. But there's probably a higher percentage of fat in that than.
any of you cow people out there, drop
Leave a note.
drop
in the
a moo
comments
in the comments.
if you know.
Tell us how much fat is out of the teat.
Yeah, I want you to go in the comments and write moo moo moo.
And then you can
Then
talk.
your cow fact or milk fact.
Yeah.
Drop some milk facts.
Milk facts.
Milk
Oh,
facts.
man.
Maybe I'll look up one right now.
Do you remember? Do you remember when almond milk was all the craze? This is before we all realized that oats where it's at, baby.
Yeah. Were you an almond boy when it was
I mean, yeah,
in its time?
when it was in its heyday.
What
of
about
course.
soy?
I don't like soy as much.
Yeah, soy sort of makes me feel crazy.
Really?
A little bit.
Tell me
Does it-
why.
It just makes me feel like a little like my stomach kind of hurts.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
you had like a psychoactive effect, which is exciting for me.
Oh, that would have been really cool, but no.
Okay.
Some crazy milk facts over here.
Well, let me. Okay, you know what? Fuck my thing. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Go.
One milk fact before we move on.
Well, can you
What, out of-
introduce it the correct way, Keith?
Moo moo moo. Milk fact coming in. This is out of a list of 10 from clearly a milk propaganda website. Number 8. Milk is the official state beverage of 21 states.
That's stupid.
So 40% of America, they're like
Whoa.
milk.
Do you guys like milk? You not really, Zach.
Do I like
Milk
the taste?
doesn't like me.
Do I
Milk
like the
doesn't like
taste of
you.
milk? Of course I do. Delicious. Is it going to be a good thing for me to chug a glass of? No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I actually think I'm like the kind of white person who can have as much dairy as possible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd
Like
say
it will
that's-
not make my stomach
I'd
hurt.
say that is one of the defining traits of white people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that part of white people's cultural and historical rise to power
Yeah.
has been that their stomachs can handle things.
You can handle milk. Milk, apparently also that one of those facts said it was a good post-workout drink.
Oh, I knew that. I chocolate milk I've heard is like the primo donna.
Really? And that's probably why they have those like protein milks. It's just milk
Yeah.
and protein powder.
Yeah.
It's probably like it's so good, and now we added extra stuff to make it build muscle. Muscle milk is what it's called,
Muscle
right?
milk.
Muscle milk.
Yeah. Well, Keith, you
It should be called moosel milk.
Oh my gosh.
Moosel mook.
I actually think you could have had a career in advertising.
I do actually have a career in advertising, Rainie. And we'll be right back right after this. I don't know where the ad's going to go, but
I would prefer if an ad didn't go there.
yeah, it might not. It might not.
Moo, moo, moo. Milk fact coming in.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when almond milk was all the craze and people found out that a lot of it was seaweed and they were
What?
pissed? People were pissed. And I'm going to say, fuck you, people. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It was seaweed?
Yeah.
Nori's good.
Wait, in the almond milk?
Yeah. And people were furious. They thought it was false advertising, but almonds take so much water to make. So fuck you.
Also, like, there's all sorts of things in everything we eat. And like the FDA's rules of like how much something has to be of something to be that thing is surprisingly low.
I mean, seaweed is really good for you. That's like a superfood.
It is.
But
Preach, girl.
doesn't taste anything like almond, so I'm surprised they got away with it.
Or milk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've crunched down on a crispy nori. Nothing like milk. Really not a milky food.
Keith, so this is a part of your job that I don't think people realize is leading up to you eat the menu.
Yes.
You have to not eat.
I think some people know, and I don't have to not eat, but I feel like it is the healthy choice to not eat. I also I do intermittent fasting. It's a better thing for me, like, because I like to eat a lot when I eat, and I found that if I ate 2 meals the way I eat, that's still more than 3 meals of food for most people. So I'm like, it's better. It just works out better for me. So on Eat the Menu days, I have an even tighter window because I'm just going to sit and eat for 5 hours straight. So I don't eat any breakfast. I don't eat any dinner, but I don't desire any breakfast or dinner. It's not like
You're doing 2 ETMs this week.
Yeah, and they're very special ETMs. And I'm breaking a little bit of a rule, but it's because these are kind of exceptions to the Eat the Menu expectation. Most Eat the Menus, I'll only do 1 a month or at most 1 every 3 weeks, but they're like 80. There's 80 items on the menu, right? So I'm going to take like 140 bites because I'm going to take a bite and a half of each thing. So I take big ass bites. But these are really funny, and I'm going to let you all in on the secret because you're
TryPod fams.
You get to hear the real deal today.
Moo 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 milk fact.
Moo 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 milk fact. Today we're eating the menu of Costco. We're going to do the food court. We're also going to do some of the favorite Costco items. Obviously, I can't eat everything in Costco. I will explode. But there are specific things that people love about Costco. We're going to hit all those. We're going to hit those free samples, the sheet cake, the rotisserie chicken, the muffins, something else, and also everything at the actual food court, which is only 21 items, which is why I'm doing the rest of some of the rest of the store as well. And then this Friday, that it won't come out for a month later, we're doing IKEA. So we're starting with stores this year. Then I'm going to do.
I can't wait for you to eat the menu Target when you're like the banana.
Eats everything at Sephora, like the flavored lip gloss. So that's going to be today, this afternoon. So that'll be really exciting. I was never a big Costco boy.
Really?
You were with me the first time I went to Costco.
You were there.
Oh my gosh! In your
When did
adult
you
You were there
life?
when the first time I went.
Oh, what did we do?
It
What
was
did
on
we
camera.
get?
It was a video.
Oh, right.
It was the first video on this channel.
Right. Yes. Once, one of my favorite memories is when Chris Reinecker and I did the first chicken watch. We wanted to get the rotisserie chicken from Costco, but didn't have a Costco card. So we asked people in the parking lot if they would buy us one, and we found a lady. We went in with her, and she bought us rotisserie chicken. And we paid her for it, but we needed her card. And then we asked her to eat the rotisserie chicken with us, and she did.
That's magic.
It was magical.
Only at Costco, am I right?
Only at Costco. Man, that parking lot, am I right, audience? It versus Trader Joe's. Oof, either one. It's going to be tough.
Speaking of Trader Joe,
Mr. Joe.
I was hoping that we could go without addressing this on the podcast. I didn't think we should have addressed it to begin with. But we did. And it was out there. And people have been messaging me. I don't know if you've noticed, Keith. They've been messaging you as well.
They've been messaging me? About what?
They've been asking us to address our dear Rainie and to issue an apology to her.
Oh,
because at Trader Joe, if you don't know, is the et of Miss Phoebe Bridgers, wonderful musician extraordinaire. And Rainie tried dropping this salacious rumor that she was in a polycule, that she was having this relationship with Mr. Boseph Burnham, and we called it hearsay. Mm-hmm. We told you to get fucked.
You said you're Andrew Tate.
What did
I must not have said that.
And turns out they were photographed at a airport together.
At an airport, I know. Well, there's more.
How does it feel? I mean, I don't want to talk about the rumor because who fucking cares?
I mean, it does feel a little serendipitous. I do think the universe was like looking out for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, it's so weird. But I guess, I mean, sometimes, you got to shoot for the stars. And even if you miss, shoot for the moon, even if you miss.
And who shot for the stars in this?
I did.
Okay, it was you.
It feels really nice. I couldn't believe it. And it came out like the day that podcast episode came out too.
It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit.
Pretty wild.
I saw it at like 12:30 at night too, and I almost texted Rainie. I'm like, it's a Saturday. I'm not gonna do that.
I didn't even see that. I saw that picture this morning.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how long it takes the news to get to me.
Well, did you guys see the Amelia Andrew Garfield?
No.
Oh my God.
That's next.
I fully believe in love again.
I know.
It is incredible.
What are you talking about?
I haven't attempted to say her name out loud, and I'm going to crush it. Amelia de Moldenberg fucking crushed it.
Beautiful.
Who does Chicken Shop Date, which is just
yeah.
delightful. We've watched
Really
it
great.
together.
Yeah.
It's just such a great format. It's kind of something that we had talked about. I know you tried doing a Celebra Date format back in the day, but when you made it leaned a lot more Eric
It was
Andre.
goofy, yeah.
And this has this dry British humor, almost an ASMR type quality to it. Really great show. So if you don't know, Amelia goes on dates with different, I think almost exclusively British celebrities, lots of musicians, and she is a very smart comedian, but plays into a very awkward tone. She's now had 2 red carpet run-ins with Mr. Andrew Garfield, the internet's boyfriend. Have you seen either of these, Keith?
No.
Oh my God, you haven't? Oh God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm just not the celebrity.
But to
It's
know,
heartwarming. It
to
really
know
is.
what you have to look forward to.
I'm so excited.
So the first clip, they run into each other. She's covering, I don't even know what award show. And he was excited to see her. And she's like, shut up, you know who I am. And he's like, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, the chicken shop girl. And she's like, oh my God, that's wonderful. And then they're like, oh my God, we're British. Oh, this is fun. And they're vibing, and it's cute and it's fun. And then they met again at the Golden Globes.
Oh. We're in a time where groceries have gotten more expensive, so we're all looking for better ways to save money on groceries. And a really great way is Thrive Market. Thrive Market is a convenient go-to place for all your groceries and household essentials. We love our snacks at our house, various, chip brands, cracker brands. It's been super easy to get all of those things through Thrive. And also, we're saving money on it. It's quickly shipped to your doorstep, which is a huge time saver. I'm a very busy person. It's hard to find time to squeeze in a trip to the market, and Thrive Market makes it super simple for me. Plus, you save money on every single order with your membership. On average, you can save over 30% each time. Now, that is huge. There are deals pages that change daily, so you can get cash back on so many brands and utilize their price match guarantee. Join Thrive Market today and get 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. Go to thrivemarket.com/tryguys for 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/tryguys. ThriveMarket.com/tryguys.
And it is
Hollywood's biggest party.
in 2 minutes. It is.
They fall in love.
It is. I fell in love with it is the greatest rom-com clip that has ever been produced, and it feels so real. It's them running into each other, and he's like, "Are you gonna ask a serious question?" And the flirt vibes are off the freaking chart. I mean, I'm taking up too much space. Rainie, how'd you feel about it?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I was just like, he needs to get on her show.
Oh, of course.
And it made me nervous.
It made me
like,
your heart was fluttering.
Yeah.
He literally says something like, he asks what's your astrological sign? And she says I don't fucking know. He let's say she says I'm a Virgo, and he's like, that's my sun sign or moon sign. And he's like, do you know what they say about people who have those matching signs that way? And he's like, it's bad. And she's like, it's bad. It's like, no, because it's good. It's good. And he's like, and I can't do this right now. He's literally it's amazing. And then the whole internet was ablaze with how dare you live my dream?
Yeah.
He's so charming.
He is really charming. I think she is really, really funny.
Oh my gosh,
She's
amazing.
so talented.
Yeah.
Let's get her on the pod.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, we'll fly her out.
Fly her out.
Have chicken.
So that
I
was
do
our-
love chicken. As a fellow chicken-based comedian,
I would say she did steal your dream
yeah.
to eat chicken and date celebrities.
Yeah, I've definitely, I laid the groundwork. Maybe I walked.
You walked so she could run.
So she could sit and eat chicken with celebrities.
You walked so she could date Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
What if they actually dated?
I think they really should. I mean, she also had a really another viral moment with Post Malone. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Let me do that again. She also had another viral moment with Jack
White?
Harlow?
Harlow.
Now tell me, are you going to edit out your gaffe?
Yeah.
What about this conversation?
I'll leave this one in so people can just sort of wonder what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to take out whenever I make a mistake.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
I requested you edited out a gaffe, and you didn't.
Oh, no. Which one?
In our Guilty Pleasures episode of Pinocchio, we were talking about Mussolini, and I was like, where's his mustache? And then I paused, and I realized, wait, I'm thinking about Stalin. That's embarrassing. I'm an idiot. You left it in, and you made me look like
Wow.
a dummy
Damn.
McDummerson.
Must have been bad.
I did-
McDummerson.
Yeah. I took out all of Kelsey's confusion about Mussolini and the Nazis.
Understandably.
Which was relatable, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really insistent that in the movie Pinocchio that the Italians were Nazis, and I'm like, they're not. They're Italian
not.
fascists.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
but they're doing the Nazi stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, but that's a fascist salute.
Yeah.
Which actually was news to me.
It's
I
also an old Italian salute. Like apparently it obviously we all know it as a Nazi salute. But there was time before the Nazis where
think it was
people
a
had
Ro-
lots of different types of greetings.
Well, I think it
and-
was a Roman salute originally.
Yeah, it was a Roman
I
salute.
looked it up because it was surprising to
Well,
me to see it.
where is Rome?
Oh fuck.
Italy.
Oh fuck.
So
You know what's weird? And I feel really stupid, but I'm going to admit this. When I think of the ancient Romans, I don't think of them as Italians.
yeah, I don't either.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I think of them as a different thing.
Yeah,
And when you
they're-
just said that Romans are Italians, I'm like, what the? Oh my God, he right.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God,
it's not
he
something
right.
you think of, but it's like we think, oh, Rome, yeah, that country, Rome. Like, no, it's not.
Ooh, wow, that's a moment where I realize I'm dumb.
It's just different. It's just how we're taught that we aren't taught of Rome within another place. We're taught about Rome by itself often,
Well,
and we also talk about Rome and Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well. Greece is a country. Rome was a city.
Well, Rome was
A
an
state.
empire.
Yeah, an empire. Right. But like where Greece stayed a country, we sometimes when you teach them in back to back in history, because they're very, very similar, the mythology, you think, oh well, so they're the same. They're both countries.
And
No,
wasn't built in a day.
not it sure wasn't. And very few things get built in a day.
I built a Lego in a day.
Like a Lego, you actually made a plastic Lego brick. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. Oh.
All right. Well,
Did you know that if you put eggs in the microwave, they explode?
do you know also if you put a marshmallow in the microwave, it explodes?
Well, it grows.
Until it explodes.
Does it eventually explode?
I think so, yeah.
I
You
think it
know,
just
if you put
grows.
me in a microwave, I'll explode.
Yeah, it's not good for anyone to go in a microwave. But eggs are really funny.
Did you do this recently?
Yeah, so
Is it hard, like with the
A
shell?
raw-
oh, if you put a
egg.
shell, it definitely will explode. But
Yeah.
even if you so I was making Becky egg McMuffins, and I was trying to find the best way to make the egg the way they make the egg, which is like an over easy egg in a disc. And I did some where I was doing the hard work of like making an aluminum foil rings. I didn't have any cookie cutter rings, and dropping it in the pan that way and like cooking it that way, and it worked. But I was like, I remember I learned that if you you can make scrambled eggs in the microwave. You drop an egg and you scramble it, you put it in a mug that's been greased, and it will actually poof up kind of like a marshmallow and then collapse and be a perfect little scrambled egg disc. But Becky didn't want a scrambled egg. She wanted a over hard egg. So I put it in without scrambling it. It started popping like crazy. And then I looked up and it said, and I saw immediately in Google, why do eggs pop in the microwave? As I was typing egg in microwave, it was all people being like, why has this happened?
Is it the water content?
I don't really know. Maybe something with the membranes.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain. Yeah, it might be something to do with the membranes of the egg. But I never learned the reason. But as soon as I saw it was a common problem, I was like, who cares?
If y'all know down in the comments, hit us with a moo egg fact.
Egg fact.
And let us know.
We're going all dairy today. Dairy section of the grocery.
Yeah, why are eggs dairy?
And can I tell you, it's caused a real problemo for your boy.
Eggs being dairy?
Well, people thinking.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, I like to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in a
Straight
restaurant, I don't tell them that I'm lactose intolerant because I'm not.
Right.
I tell them I have a dairy allergy,
Right.
which I do.
Which he does.
And then they go, oh, well, you can't have mayo. You can't have eggs. And I go, I can because that's not dairy. You just think it is because big dairy's out here trying to lump eggs in with your milk, with your boob juice.
Yeah. I would say it's very fun when you are trying to be discreet about why you can't have a certain thing. And then someone goes, why are you allergic? It's like, no, I'm not allergic. It's just I just can't have it. It's like, well, what happens? Like, okay, well, you'd like to know? It makes me shit my brains out. It gives me incredible stomach cramps, and then I'm going to spend an hour in the bathroom. That's why I don't want it. Okay. The person at dinner with me eating, that's why I don't want it.
The most embarrassing thing, either this episode or either last week or next week, I don't know what order we're going to release these. You'll hear about my multitude of hospital time. And
that's a really good little penny to drop if you're not hearing about it for a week. My multitude of hospital time.
And when you're at a hospital, they ask you, do you have any allergies? And what they mean is penicillin, aspirin, whatever. But again, I don't like to lie. I like to tell the truth. Straight shooter.
Hell yeah.
And so one time, I don't know why, they asked me if I had any allergies. And I said, yeah, dairy and bell peppers. And, I don't know. Maybe there's a pill that has
capsicum as part of the dissolvable membrane. Who knows?
I don't know.
Better safe than sorry.
And I didn't even know why they were asking me. Same thing when they always ask, do you smoke? And I go, weed?
Yeah, I know.
And then what I finally found out is what they want to know is, do you smoke cigarettes? Because smoking nicotine slows down your healing, I think, wound healing.
Oh.
And the amount of there's no real studies on it, but we don't smoke as much weed as we do cigarettes, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But again, I've been answering that question the same way to every doctor for a decade. They say, do you smoke? And I go, only weed? They don't need to know that. Yeah. They don't. Same with, do you have any allergies? Dairy and bell peppers? They don't need to know that. So now, every time I'm admitted by a doctor or the hospital, or when I order my medicine for my ankylosing spondylitis every month, they go, and we have here your allergies as dairy and bell pepper. And I have to go, yeah.
That's such a hilarious long effect of that.
I've just to drop this penny, I've had 3-4 hospital visits now, and it's like I've had to listen to them say dairy and bell pepper so many times, because every doctor that comes in, they have to check, every nurse that comes in, every time they're checking your vitals, every time they do the switch of the thing. So I've had to confirm that allergy, and I've had to request that they take it off my chart, and they go, well, I don't have the power to do that. It's just
Who does?
follow
You're
me
just
I don't know.
Probably your whoever your consistent doctor is.
I need to go back in time and tell myself to stop being such a dingus.
Yeah.
Do you do that when they ask you, do you smoke? What do you answer?
Weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do smoke, and I was like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I answer it that way. I was like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I also used to be scared because there was a time when that wasn't exactly as legal. It was in the gray area. So I was like, I can tell you, right? You a cool doctor? Right. It's like, you're not going to...
You ain't a narc doctor, right?
You're not going to... We have that medical confidentiality,
whatever,
right?
yeah.
You can't tell nobody.
You a hippo, right?
Yeah.
I go, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I know how to party. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Mm-hmm. Do you drink? And I go, no, but I do other stuff for a good time.
Are you guys into edibles? How do you feel about edibles?
About weed edibles?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask a question that was way harder than that.
They're great. They're great.
Would you prefer it over smoking?
So there's a whole variety of ways to ingest weed, and I think there are different purposes for them. I think there is something to the social act of like hanging out with friends, smoking a bowl, or it's also hilarious.
You
to
like
smoke.
a bowl?
I was hold on. As I said, it's also hilarious to smoke a bong. They're so funny. A joint is typically become the way that I imbibe weed most of the time. But like sometimes an edible is like way better, I feel like, for going to the movies.
Yes.
Because you're going to be sitting in a chair for 2.5 hours. But also, you won't smell like weed when you walk in.
That is clutch and crucial. Because let me tell you, first of all, knowing... Okay.
Moo, moo, moo. Here's a weed fact for you.
Moo, moo. Okay. When we were back in our days, you roll your joint, you go to the movie theater, and then you're smoking in like the corner of a parking lot or in your car, and then your car stinks. But then let's say either way, either you're outside your car or you're in your car. You're smoking and you're like looking around, and every car that comes by, you're like, is that a security guard? And realizing that like the security guard's probably high too. They don't give a fuck. But like care. You are paranoid to the nth degree. And then you stank. And what happens when you're high, Keith?
You think about it.
You think about it.
You think about it.
You think that everyone's thinking about you, and you stink. And your eyes are as red as the devil's dick. And you're walking around, and all eyes are on you in your mind. And that's not fun.
Yeah.
And frankly, then, Keith and I have talked about this, that smoking weed is like jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah.
Because when you smoke, you are at your peak high, and then you kind of wait till you're floating.
Not as high. But it's sort of like... The way you smoke weed is the opposite way of how you drink alcohol. If you were to drink alcohol by arriving at a party and with your friends, ripping 5 shots and then not having any more for 2 hours, that would be what it's like to smoke weed. Because you have weed and then you don't smoke weed again for like an hour or so.
You get as high as you are going to, and then you go, that's too much.
I'm too high now. I'll stop. And then you'll settle down. But it's like, it's also a mystery because when you're over, especially if you're at a party and having some joint, you don't know what kind of weed it is, how strong it is. So you might take like, well, I'll just have like 1 or 2 hits. Well, it turns out 1 or 2 hits is a ton. Or you'll be like smoking a J, being like, I smoke J's all the time. I can hang out in this circle and have several hits. Right. No, you can't. That weed was like super mega weed. Covered in, every time I go to the weed store too, I'm like, I want some pre-rolled joints because I'm very lazy. I'm not good at rolling joints. And they're like, do you want infused? And I'm like, no, no, I don't. They're like, we have these that are covered in keef. I don't want that.
I miss weak weed.
I want teeny little half joints, and I want a cheap one. So I'm not blazed out of my mind.
Can we call out our audience? So anyway, to answer your question, going to the movie, edible's the way to go because you don't want to be the highest for walking in. You want your high to ascend as the movie ascends. I'll answer the question further if it's of interest, but I'd like to call out our audience.
Can we call them out? I know what you're calling them out for right now.
Ludicrous. This
crazy.
Was call up
absurd.
Chris Bridges himself.
Not real. These people
real.
Are liars.
They're cuckoo pants.
They're cuckoo pants.
What's going on?
Okay.
We put out this incredible video.
A good one.
Starring Zach.
And
Kornfeld.
Starring Keith Habersberger.
And others. And we ate a cannabis feast where we imbibed 40 or more milligrams of weed because they allowed us in the last desserts to like add more if we wanted. And we imbibed all this weed. Now, this was also at the end of a day where we had weed already that day a few times.
You know what? You don't need to qualify it, Keith.
But
you don't need to.
Even so, we had 40 milligrams and we were talking about how, and this is true, that's not a normal amount of milligrams of weed to imbibe.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And our commenters and people on Twitter came for us.
Saying what?
These people. And if you're listening out there, if you're one of these people, I'm calling you the fuck out.
Calling you the fuck out.
Calling you the fuck out, Robert.
Because they were saying 40 milligrams, that's it? I have 50 milligrams.
Oh my gosh.
For my cereal at breakfast time.
They say, I can't even feel anything until it's 200 milligrams.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Now, I've thought about this a lot because I I don't know where the miscommunication is. Because we are in California where our milligrams of THC are very precisely measured.
Yes.
And so the only thing that I can think about is if they're thinking about when you would like get a gram of weed, when you buy weed from your dealer, right? So a weight of weed is not the concentration of THC.
Yes.
So yeah, if you were smoking a gram of, if you like roll a gram joint, whatever, and then you'd be like, these guys are only having 40 milligrams? That's so tiny. Maybe I get that.
But I'd seem like they were like, there were people that are like, I have 100 milligrams of edibles every day. And I'm like, are you lying? I think you are.
There are people that are like, I don't feel anything until I hit 400. And I'm like, that is what we're talking about. These are medical amounts.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's impossible that there are some of you out there who can, and first of all, I'm not even saying that me and Keith are like the strongest smokers. I know for a fact I'm a lightweight and I want to keep myself a lightweight. I want weaker weed.
Yeah.
I miss weak weed.
I'm not trying to be like debilitated.
But 40 milligrams is a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just have fun. And you don't need that much weed to have fun.
Yeah.
Like 5 milligrams, I feel like 5 milligrams is actually really good for a movie because it's like a very light amount. It makes things a little bit funnier. And then when you're done with the movie, you're not like tired or like still too high. 10 milligrams would be the most, I would say, for like a 3-hour experience or movie. And people doing like 20 milligrams, or I have friends who I know who ingest a lot of weed, but these people like actually smoke crazy amounts of weed. And I remember we were at a party and we were like, had 10 milligram gummies. And it was like, do you want a gummy? It's like, how much is in that? It's like 10. It's like, oh, that won't even affect me. Don't bother.
We have friends who are like that.
And I was like, really? It won't affect you at all?
So maybe our audience just has these fucking hardcore stoners.
Yeah, maybe.
In which case, maybe we should talk about weed more. All right. I have a chart here from leafly.com. I had to confirm I was 21 or up.
That's good. Even to read about weed.
What? 3 to 5 milligrams is considered a low dose. This dose, I'm going to quote here directly. This dose helps with pain, nausea, inflammation, and may help with sleep. Editor's note, it also makes you really giggly.
Yeah.
So that is normal. Then we get to 10 to 15. Oh, we just jump.
Wow.
10 to 15 is considered moderate. This is an ideal dose for more experienced users looking to have fun, sleep, or manage pain. Note, new users may feel overwhelmed. 10 to 15, that's a big daddy
dose. To me,
dose.
that's where I live.
Now we get to 20 to 30. High. This dose is only recommended for experienced edible consumers. Expect strong euphoria and impaired coordination and or perception. May be beneficial for chronic insomnia or illness, insomnia, or severe pain. So 30, we're already at the high category, and they are saying you are going to be impaired.
Yeah, heavily impaired.
Now we get to 50 to 100, which is closer to where we were. And we are in the acute category, an effective dose for experienced users seeking relief from intense physical pain, PMS, MS, cancer treatments, or other conditions not recommended for those dealing with mental health issues. So yeah, acute, and then above that, 100 to 500, my God, is a macro dose, which is a useful dose for patients with GI absorption issues or other severe medical conditions like cancer. So once you get into the close to the hundreds and above, this is like medical shit.
It's intense medical. It's medicine.
Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but you fucking fucks.
And there are like a lot of people who are.
It was every other comment in the comment section. I felt like was like, these weaklings. I'm bleeding THC.
You open me inside, there's little buds of grass inside me.
It was wild. I was like, really? This is maybe. I mean, sure, it's possible.
I smoked 40 milligrams in kindergarten.
And there's like other ways. Like, Rainie, have you ever seen somebody do a dab?
Oh God.
Is that the thing with the like Gatorade bottle?
No, but what are you talking about?
But please tell me what you've seen.
Okay, so
I think I know what you're talking about, but I want to hear you explain it.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so one time, freshman year of college, I went to my high school nemesis's dorm room, and his roommate did this thing where I think it was like chewing some drug. Maybe it was tobacco. I'm not really sure. But then you spit it into the Gatorade thing.
That's called dip.
That's called dip.
Oh, that's dip.
Very close to dab in phonetics, I suppose.
But here's this.
The grossest thing in
It's
the planet.
absolutely the grossest thing.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
But the pinnacle of the story is that he one time came home drunk because I saw the things and he drank it.
No, and he vomited everywhere.
I don't know. I didn't hear the rest.
Yeah, he would have. 100% Rainie, he vomited everywhere. I promise you. Anyway, that's too gross. What I thought you were going to talk about was what's called a doob tube, and there's some other names as well.
I used to have one.
And it's a Gatorade bottle that you poke holes in the bottom of. You fill it with dryer sheets and other stuff, or cotton balls that are saturated with like Febreze.
Okay.
And you have a lid on it. And you take the lid off, and when you take a hit off of a joint or whatever it is, you blow it out the window of your dorm room through the doob tube. So you're blowing smoke through a bunch of perfume, basically. And it helps it not smell as weedy. And also looks hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you go.
You guys had them in college?
Like, you've hit it and we're like.
Yeah, it was our, especially in our cold Boston and Chicago winters, you did not want to go outside to smoke that weed.
No.
But good luck going to sleep without it.
Yeah.
So
or you're trying to be, you're having fucking fun. You're in college.
Yeah, you gotta smoke that weed, bro, dog. I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would do it and blow it out the window, and cross our fingers that it.
Did you ever get caught? No, you got caught. Obviously, you got arrested. But did the
no,
RA?
But not with a doob tube. A doob tube keeps you from getting caught.
Yeah. You know why I got arrested? Because I didn't have a doob tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something with joints because you were talking about passing around joints as a social activity. And Maggie has yelled at me about this, that in a post-COVID world, and I don't mean post-COVID to say that the pandemic's over. It's not. I've said that before.
Post-COVID
Someone called me
beginning.
out.
Yeah.
Post when COVID,
Yeah.
we
The
are.
end.
COVID
now,
is here. So it's post the COVID beginning.
Right.
the idea of passing around a joint is pretty irresponsible now, and it's a hard thing for me to unlearn. I've been at a party where she has watched me be the most anal, overly protective, wearing masks where no one else is, and wearing masks at parties, and then I go outside
and smoke a joint with some people.
Smoke a joint and pass it around. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It never even occurred to me to not do that because it's just part of the ceremony, the ritual, the culture. It's. I mean, sharing a joint is how I made some of my closest friends, and I'm not joking. That is my friends in college. Like that, we were smoking over here, they were smoking over there. It's like, hey, you want to join circles?
Yeah.
And that was that. So it's like that is something I think that is going to be hard for me to unlearn, and maybe also part of why I do crave weaker weed is because I want to be able to smoke, and if I'm going to have a joint to myself,
it's my joint. Yeah, so what I do now at parties too, I only share a joint with someone who I'm already sharing a ton of airspace with anyway. Like I'll share a joint with Zach. I share a joint with Jared Popkin. We're hanging out all the time anyway. But if I'm going to a party and there are going to be joints, I will bring joints and I will offer people their own.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to smoke this joint. Do you want to smoke weed? I don't know you. I'll give you a joint.
Yeah.
You can have this, and you and your friends can smoke this joint, but I don't know you.
Yeah.
But I specifically buy the small joints as well, just because, people don't want us to finish a whole joint on their own. Even sometimes I'm in a circle, and somebody brings a huge fucking baseball bat-sized joint, and nobody wants that.
nobody wants that.
Because then it's like, you're done to the joint and there's half a joint left. And you're like, anybody want this? Like, no, I don't want it.
Absolutely
And
not.
you're like
Thank you.
holding this stinky little joint. And you're like, anybody want it?
Yeah.
You want to hit this? Like, no, I'm done. I don't want it anymore.
When was the first time you smoked weed?
In college.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about this.
Yeah. Well, my first time I imbibed weed, I ate weed, macaroni and cheese.
Yum.
Whoa.
And I promptly fell asleep. I fell right to sleep. And then I smoked weed at college, but I remember that it was very funny because I had lots of friends I didn't smoke in freshman year, but I had a lot of friends that did smoke weed. And when I came back after the summer, I said, guys, I had weed. And they're like, you smoke weed now? I'm like, I guess so. And they were like, woo! They were all so excited. And I would smoke weed with my buddy Chris in our dorm through our doob tube. He had a little chillum. A chillum is known as a cigarette holder. It's basically a straight bowl with no choke. So it's like a glass cigarette that you fill weed into.
Yeah,
one
imagine
little
a
side
ceramic cigarette.
Yeah.
And you just pack the end of it.
with weed.
Not my
Wait, so
favorite,
they
but-
were
Not my favorite.
surprised though? So were you a straight edge in high school?
I wasn't straight edge, but there was no access to weed in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it was also the only people who drank in Tennessee were like not my group of people.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that wasn't a thing that we did.
Yeah.
You know, and then I moved to Illinois, and there definitely were people drinking, but it just wasn't a part of what I was doing. I was too busy with hobbies.
Yeah.
And then in college, I definitely drank in freshman year. I was like, one thing at a time. I'll save weed for later. I don't think I want to do that. And then I did, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Pretty fun. And we had a bong, which was hilarious. And at Rainie, at one point, I was at a party. I smoked a 4-foot bong. It was like I was like in a movie. It was huge. It was gargantuan. And once, Rainie, there was a thing where it was the weed dealer's house, and we were at it, and he would pack the 4-foot bong, and he would try to get people to clear the whole bong, which is to smoke the entire. Light up the entire bowl that's full of weed.
You get it milky white.
Fill it with smoke, and then inhale all of it at once. And Rainie, I did it.
I feel like that's on brand.
And it was crazy. I was way too high.
Having 4 feet of smoke inside you at once.
And
That's
everybody
crazy.
cheered. I was a hero.
Oh my god.
I felt like I was in old school for a
Yeah.
moment. I felt like I was like, once it hits your lips.
I'm thinking back to being a young weed smoker, which I don't recommend, but I did it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You really should wait.
shouldn't.
At least till college, and technically you're not supposed to do it until 25, but that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because your brain ain't done forming yet. But look at me, I'm hilarious. So anyway. I didn't drink because I was on antidepressants. I was on a large dose of Zoloft through college. And antidepressants multiply the effects of alcohol. So I would get, if I tried to drink, I would get wasted quick. The joke with me is that I'd buy a 6-pack for the weekend of beer and I'd have 2 left over.
Wow. Amazing.
That was a cheap date. But it was, 1 to 2 beers, really, I think it's 6 times the effects of alcohol, maybe 8. It's,
Dang,
Whoa.
That's crazy.
yeah, it's
Wow.
really quite intense, and you have to be safe because you have to just know that. So anyway, I didn't really, and I've never really loved drinking. But as a result, I remember the idea of I smoked weed in high school, towards the end of high school, and then in college. And looking now, now that we are older and I look at people who are in high school and college, you babies.
Yeah.
You are I look back to what I looked like back then, and I'm a little baby.
You little babies.
Little baby.
Yeah.
And imagining myself, all the time that I spent driving around the suburbs and meeting up with drug dealers, because there was no other way to buy it
That's
in
how
New
you
York
got
and
it.
Boston.
That's how you got it.
You got drug dealers. And, when I was in college, I would have, the drug dealer sells to a guy who then sells to you, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
But, I was meeting up with drug dealers when I was in high school because that was the only way to get weed.
Yep.
And it's just wild to think about.
I like that. And then I never had a drug dealer till after college because the one guy that was the drug dealer, he was just the most chill, nice guy. He was not.
They were all sweethearts. Let me say for the record.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But this was a guy who actually had 2 other jobs. This is literally he was motivated to make money. So he worked at a Radio Shack. He did something else and he sold weed. So, but he was really chill.
Lucrative
and
side hustle.
I didn't get, I've never had a drug deal until much later. Where I was meeting some random guy in a parking lot that was well, this feels not good. But that only happened even once. Because normally you'd find just a normal guy who's when I pick up from the scary drug dealer, I buy enough for all of my friends to buy from me.
Yeah.
So rarely do you meet the guy in the van in the.
So much of my life too, because especially when you're in college, you don't have a car, and you are just taking the subway to this part of town that you don't go to, and then you walk for 15 minutes, and then you knock on the door, and you wait for him to let you in, and then you're in this house, and he's like, all right, hold on, let me get this thing. And he shuffles around, and he brings the scale out, and you're like, oh, God, I've just spent 3 hours trying to procure a gram of weed because that's all I can afford because I'm in college.
Oh my gosh. Wait, we can bleep this, but where were you going? Because you were in central Boston.
Yeah, I was in Boston. I mean, it was all over. It
was
places
everywhere.
In Alston. There was a drug dealer. I mean, some of them lived in the dorms.
Yeah.
There were students who were. I had a drug dealer who lived this is the stupidest thing. So I had a drug dealer who lived in around Cambridge. So I would take the red line. And
shout out the red line.
Shout out to the red line.
Love her.
And it was like a 20-minute walk. So I'd listen to music. It was fucking cold, always. And I would go, and like Keith, I would try and buy, once I got like later in college and I had a little more money, buy way too much and sell to my friends, give to,
have it.
You don't want to make this trip more than you have to.
You don't want to do it often.
So, and this was my buddy Josh Drugs. That's what he's saved as in my phone.
Yeah,
Josh Drugs. Josh Drugs was the dealer under the dealer. He wanted me to be his protege at one point, and I'm like, I don't think I am organized enough. Yeah, he liked me. He saw potential in me to be a little drug dealer.
He saw how much you were buying. He's like, this has got to be
this guy.
You're doing something with this.
You're doing something. So I would go and I would buy. Towards the end, I feel like I was buying an ounce.
Wow,
which is a lot.
A lot
for a college kid, because I would pool money together. I would get I'd tell everyone I'm going to Josh Drugs. So we'd collect money. I would go, and what I would do is he would go, and then he'd be like, "Hey, you want to smoke?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Drug dealer, I'll just smoke. So I would get way too high, just high, because your drug dealer, they get you more high than you need.
And the way that also in college, the way that the drug dealer handles weed is like crazy. Weed is spilling all over the place.
Oh my God.
When I was in college, you're scraping up every last little freckle of weed that's on your table. He's just like pouring it. It's falling on the ground. You're like,
they have mason jars that they unscrew, and there's
should I pick that up? Oh, don't worry about that. I'm like, that is a whole bowl's worth of weed you just dumped on the ground, and you're not worried about. They have a lot of it. So they're not thinking about it.
Tip the scale, and it'll be like a little over, and you're like, you're good.
Yeah. And have you ever seen Pineapple Express, Rainie?
No, I should.
You should watch that, because it's a really good experience of going to a drug dealer and the drug dealer wanting to hang out,
wanting to be your friend,
and you're just trying to pick up weed.
You're trying to go back to your
But then they offer you weed, and you're like, I do want to smoke that. Okay, and then you're kind of there, and then you're just there with the drug dealer for an hour, or you're there with Josh Drugs or
Josh Drugs.
Oh, and there was Nadia Drugs.
The word drug dealer makes it sound a lot scarier than it is.
They're weed dealers.
They're weed dealers.
Yeah. Wait.
I had Nadia Drugs. I had a crush on Nadia Drugs, but
yeah,
she was too cool for me.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, that's kind of hot.
Definitely. She was cool. So anyway, Josh Drugs would give me an ounce, and I would just put it in my inside jacket pocket, and it's now in a plastic bag, and it
fragrant,
reeks.
Yeah,
it reeks. I reek. I've been, one, I've been in a drug dealer's house. 2, I have been smoking more than I want to. 3, I now have it inside of me. And I would just then get back on the subway. And anyone who's been in Boston knows, I think it's not Boylston. I think it's I don't fucking know. It's whatever stops right above Boylston where you switch the red line. There are so many cops and doggos. And the doggos ain't looking for you.
No.
They're looking for the bombs. But when you're high, they're looking for you.
They're looking for you.
And you think for a fact. And so it would never occur to me until I was in that position of, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Okay, this is the time okay. All right, Zach, be cool. And it just was so unnecessarily scary every single ding dang time.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what was your first
time?
I'm
a role model.
Yeah. Look at you.
I know, I am sort of a little nervous. I'm like, we can publish this, right?
Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it's legal there now. So
it definitely is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Arrest me, Boston. I dare you.
It's just weed. At the end of the day, it's so much less harmful than alcohol. And it is just such a thing that should never have been problematic. It's got a lot of weird politicized history, but it's really
helped me deal with my undiagnosed chronic pain through college.
Yeah, it's really a helpful little thing.
Helps
people sleep, helps people eat. It's a great thing.
I would not have been able to eat in the dining room food without. It kept me alive.
I have a hilarious, I feel like I've said this on the thing, but once I went to Subway and we were really high, and I was so high that I was practicing my Subway order in my brain, because there was a Subway in the bottom floor of our dorm.
Nice.
So you would go down the elevator.
Huge.
And it was on the Flex Dollars plan.
Oh, Becky. I was like, oh, wait, I know about some other college does it, but it's Becky. Becky.
So a lot of the dorms have it. So all the dorms kind of smell. So now I have a little bit of whenever I smell a Subway, I'm like, oh God, yeah.
One of the greatest smells of all time.
And I smelled it too much. But I was practicing, and I get a very normal thing. I was like, cold cut combo on the normal bread with lettuce, tomato, onion, oil, and vinegar, salt, and pepper. Cold cut combo on the other bread. And I was like muttering it to myself to not forget it. And I got there, and they said, "What's your order?" I said, "Cold cut combo on this bread with lettuce, tomato, onions, oil, and vinegar, salt, and pepper." And I'm like, "Keith, you did it." And they're like, "Great. Would you like a cookie?" I'm like, "Oh." I didn't plan for this. How much are the cookies? It's like, well, it's 1 for this or 3 for this. I'm like, okay, I'll get 6. And then I was like, why did I buy all those cookies? I
By the
panicked.
way, Subway cookies.
They're really good. And but it
good.
was definitely me be like, I better buy a lot. Because then if I buy a lot, they won't think I'm high. That was like my method. I was like, I better buy a lot. So I bought a lot.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed when in that kind of like ordering situation, no matter regardless.
Yeah.
Sober. I'm like, I don't know.
Here's a crazy thing.
Tell me.
Did you ever have a Subway that made pizza?
No?
Ours made little personal pizzas.
Shut your fat mouth.
Yeah, they were little like kind of frozen pizzas, but you could put any topping on it before they put it in that little toaster oven. And they were like slightly bigger than a individual pizza, maybe from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
But not as good.
Oh.
But they were still pretty good. In fact, you could get a little pizza downstairs in your college thing. You could put the pepperoni on it. You could put like onions and bell peppers on it.
That rules.
It was excellent. And I was upset when I would later after college go to other Subways and that wasn't a thing.
No, my God.
That's innovation. Whatever manager was there.
I know. I think it was like maybe only college Subways do it because
Sure.
that's the only place to be sure people will buy it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it makes a ton of sense. They already have all the toppings. And
Yeah.
It's
You're right. And they have a big, like a toaster oven.
Big oven.
Yeah. And they make bread every day. So yeah, it was really good.
I loved Subway so much.
Yeah, it was good.
I ate so much Subway. And it's funny that you mention it because actually just yesterday, I got a box of stuff from my childhood home delivered to my house.
Oh my gosh.
There's not that much crazy stuff in there, but...
Wait, what was the inciting incident?
My sister moved to Los Angeles, and so my mom was like, "Here's a box for your brother."
Give this to your brother. It's been taking up space in our house.
So my mom sounds like
Yeah.
she's a chain smoker. She give it to your brother. But I had some scripts from a movie that like real scripts. I have like the Matrix script, and
cool.
I forget what else I have, but one of the scripts I got from an internship, and to this day, I opened up the box last night. It's in a Subway bag. Like that I stretched out to kind of keep it protected from water, I guess. Or maybe I was carrying it home that way. But, 10, 15 years later, it's still in a Subway bag. And it was just very funny. Last night I opened it up and I'm like,
I'm going to say, did it still smell like a sandwich?
I wish.
In the bag.
You said that you're over that smell. I genuinely think Subway has one of the greatest olfactory hits of any place.
You have to remember, for a lot of my college, that was like the go-to drunk snack. But then right after I graduated college...
Whoa. Moo.
Moo.
It was open late?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It was open until 1.
Fuck.
So you had to get home before you maybe
Sure.
would want to.
Yeah.
But so you had to get, and like on the weekdays, it was only up until midnight. But on the weekends, it was up
That's
until 1. Still great, yes. So, and then after college, when I toured with the improv group for like 4 years, Subway is something that's in every town.
Of course.
And $5 for a foot long.
$5
foot, $5 foot long. The marketing worked, and I would buy it because I could get a meal for $2.50 each day. I was getting like a $25 a day per diem. So if I could make all my meals be $5 a day, I was saving $20 every day. So I ate Subway like crazy.
Yep.
And then, so I had 8 straight years.
You get that meatball marinara sub?
I would get that sometimes. I get the Coca combo a lot because it would sit the best.
Sure.
Because it would just be in the car. I'd eat it 4 hours later and be like, okay, I eat this soggy, gross room temperature sandwich. And if I save $20. And like that was just what I ate for so long that now it's definitely not my favorite.
Yeah. What about like Mike's, or not Mike's, Ike's?
We didn't have Ike's out there.
Yeah. Or like, can you eat it now, or is it too similar?
I actually haven't. I've had Ike's.
Ike's or you mean
Ike's
Jersey Mike's?
You mean Jersey Mike's, right?
I feel like there's one Ike's and
Ike's
one
is a
Jersey
place,
Mike's,
but
maybe.
that's like
Ike's is a California
Oh, that's what I was
small chain. But you're talking Jersey Mike's, maybe? Jersey
Fucking
Mike's,
rules.
I fucking love.
I can
Jersey
never
Mike's.
get sick
of it. They cut the meat onto the sandwich.
Oh, yeah. They do it Mike's way. They got the banana peppers.
Medium rare roast beef.
Ooh, I got the California Club.
Ooh, you can get a hot sandwich.
Hot panini.
Ooh, they
I
have
love Mike's way. Jersey, if you listening, thank you for your sandwich.
I
Thank
should
you for
do
your
an
mic.
eat the menu there.
That's pretty good.
It's a good
fucking
one.
rules.
I love
I
Jersey
love
Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
It's the supreme sandwich chain. Can't think of a better one.
Wow.
Quiznos
They need to
is
be
fun.
sponsoring Stat.
I know.
Are we?
That's like a gift.
We're giving it away. Well, we probably are getting close to the end, but this has been a really fun chat.
I had a good time.
I had a really good time.
I had a good time.
But
Hey, Keith.
Yeah?
I had a good time.
I had a good time.
Hey, Rainie.
Zach,
Good time.
good time.
But it's good times aren't over
Good time.
because it's time for some
Good time.
rainy day thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Drip, drop, drip,
rainy
drop,
day.
drippity, drop, drop.
It's a rainy day
Rainy day
thoughts with Rainy
My rainy day thought is I think it's fine for adults to play high schoolers. Everybody's mad about it. Everybody's like, oh, they're 26. I'm like, they're better actors. And
Yeah.
child actors get all messed up.
Hmm.
And high school, this is at the heart of it. High school shows are not about high school, I don't think. I think they're just an allegory for like high density drama, very emotional,
And murders.
small community,
And lots of murder.
murders.
A lot of murder.
lots of murders.
What shows are on your mind when you say this? What are you envisioning?
Riverdale.
I mean, like, yeah, Riverdale. Now that you say murder, for sure, Riverdale. I feel like, there's like a bunch of, like, especially like 2000s sitcoms or like dramas.
If a show's gonna be sexy, I want it to be adults.
I would
Yeah.
like it to be adults.
Exactly.
If it's or if you're trying to capture adolescent angst, then I'm cool with kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
what shows with kid actors do you like?
Well, I'm thinking of like 8th grade Bo Burnham's movie. I
Oh my
think that was
gosh.
better.
That
with
actress
kids.
was amazing.
Yeah, she
also.
rules. She's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
What else has real?
The Mighty Ducks Disney show
That'd be funny with adults.
has actual kids, and I think it's quite charming. It's not the greatest show in the world, but it's very cute.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good bedtime TV.
Yeah.
Imagine though if it were adult
It'd be really
adults.
funny if it was adults. It's because it's about like a kind of like not great hockey team that is good because of the spirit that they love the game.
That's really
and they
nice.
actually do very well. But they're often playing teams of high schoolers that are clearly adults, and so it is kind of funny in that way. It's like these kids, especially like in the big group scenes. Like this, one of the seasons is they go to like a camp, so there's lots and like a hockey team, so they always bury the hockey players in the back. But there are some 30-year-olds in the back on that ring. Like those guys are enormous. They're clearly grown men. They're not 14.
Okay, I think I'm behind this rainy day thought.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
All right.
Yeah.
Not a controversial one. I'd say we're team rainy.
Oh, hell yeah. We'll see. I was worried that it was, I am a little worried that people might be, because people are like always mad about it.
Yeah. And then there are shows and movies where people are young and we don't realize till we look back and like, wow, she was so young when she filmed that role.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
we did a Love Actually episode on guilty pleasures, and I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
I can't remember how young Keira Knightley was in that film, but she may have been 19 or something. It was like
Really?
ludicrous how young she was.
Wow. Because that was after Pride and Prejudice, right?
I don't recall.
Because
I don't think so.
it must not have been.
I think also Britney Spears, I just saw this come up on my Twitter timeline when she did the Snake performance at the VMAs. She was like under 21, I think, for that.
Whoa.
I could be wrong.
That's insane.
Don't fact check me.
Yeah.
Or if you do, make sure you moo.
Yeah. Give us a moo if you're going to correct us.
Well,
Well, it's been a great episode.
Moo. I mean, hey, we hit the hits.
We hit the hits.
We
for
talked
sure.
about eggs. We talked about milk.
Uh-huh.
We talked about
Oh,
weird.
yeah. We talked about eggs.
That's us.
Wow. That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
That's amore.
Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Ooh, moo. Ooh, moo. Ooh, moo. Ooh, moo. Get your milk facts in line. I want to learn a little about dairy products. The milk is so fine. Gonna get your bones strong or maybe propaganda. TryPod.
Moo.
Have a good ass week.